No, it's a question that women of a certain age will be used to. When are you going to have children? I remember people asking me, why did you never have children? Well, give me a chance. It can be a deeply personal and divisive topic. We know that more than women than ever are choosing to freeze their eggs to give themselves options later on in life, and some may choose to explore IVF and fertility treatments if needed. A recent survey revealed that 50% of 33 to 45-year-olds who don't have kids have no plans to do so. They are child-free by choice. And Kelly, that's kind of what you would describe... Well, I shouldn't presume. Is that what you would describe yourself as?
Yeah, I mean, recently I was interviewed, and it is a question that comes up always at the end of every interview.
Does it drive you mad?
Well, I know it's coming. I can't wait for the age where it just doesn't come anymore and everyone leaves me alone. But do you know what? I'll be really honest. You know, I spent my 20s avoiding having children. I was very career-focused, very selfish, very travel-obsessed, and just wanted to see the world and, you know, build a lovely life for myself. A life that my mum didn't have the opportunity for. My grandma, they both had children very young. So they were very keen on me to, like, live my life and do the things that they never got the opportunity to do. And then when I hit my 30s, I ended up in, you know, some long-term relationships where I did suffer, you know, several miscarriages. So it wasn't for lack of trying. And then I think when I met my husband 10 years ago, you know, we did have a brief conversation, and I think it wasn't really something that we explored straight away. And I think as our relationship blossomed and we realised we were going to be in it for the long haul, and we did build such a beautiful relationship, just by removing that element, I can't tell you what a happy marriage we have because of it. Like, we have not had to suffer that burden of trying every month. Like, sex to us is fun. You know, it's not a chore. I'm not on the clock. I'm not saying don't have a hot bath or not do this and not do that. You know, those things all impact so heavily on your relationship when you're trying to have a baby. And if it's something you really want, I think it's fine. But to be honest, it's never been something I've really, really wanted. And I think I've just come to the point where I just need to be honest about it and go, I just don't want to have children. And I don't think my husband does either.
So it's really interesting, that's kind of journey to that, because you said your 20s you're avoiding it, and then your 30s you did go down that road and it didn't work out. Do you think you were doing that because that was the expectation?
100%. It's the expectation. I fell pregnant accidentally in my 30s, and I thought, oh, well, I need to just have this baby because that's what you do, and this might be the last chance, and who knows? Did I actually really want to have a baby? Did I plan to have a baby? No, it was none of those things. So that was my journey. But I think now I've hit 40 and I think I've only really come into myself in my 40s, to be honest. I only think I've really found out who I am and what I want out of life, and I feel mature enough to even have the conversation and really look at my life. And I can't tell you how happy I am that I didn't have children with people that I'm no longer with. And I'm so happy that I've met Jeremy, because we are now, like, approaching life without having those conversations. You know, we're not going down the IVF route. I've had 2 friends that have gone down the IVF route, and both have been successful, and they've got their babies, which I'm so happy for. And now all they're wanting to do is get back to work and get their identity back. And I just think, my God, I've just watched you for years and years and years try and have this baby. And now it's like, right, that's done. Right, part that, let's get back to work. And I just think, God, like, as women, we have it... It's so tough to have it all, isn't it? Yeah. It really is. And I just think, I'm just quite happy with my lot, to be honest. I really am.
And equally, it is a conversation that I don't imagine that guys are having in the pub. Why did you never have children? It does tend to be a question that's directed at women, because there's an assumption that as a nurturing woman, you're going to want to have children, you're going to be maternal. I mean, when I was a kid, I never once thought about having kids. Never once. Oh, I didn't think about it until I was 36. I'm a slow learner, I am. But, I mean, Kelly, you were very conscious of wanting children from an early age, weren't you?
From very, very young, sort of 14 to 16, I had this sort of... It was awful. It was almost like a physical pang, like yearning to have children. So I used to feel it all the time, and I'd be like, oh, it was real yearning to have a baby. And I remember sharing it with my mum, and my mum was like, oh, no, you don't. I'm not having any babies in this house, not just yet. But I just knew, like, whatever it was, biologically, I just had this real yearning to be a mum. And it was from very, very young. And obviously I wanted to do it responsibly, but I'm a Christian and don't believe in sex before marriage, so after becoming a Christian, there was a whole period of, you know, I was celibate for a long, long time and come from a family where they were popping babies like pills. You know, it was like, oh, blah, blah's pregnant, oh, blah, blah's pregnant. And I really found that difficult. And I know a lot of women find that difficult, especially if they're trying for a child and everyone around you has a child. That could be a really difficult thing to have to go through. But yeah, obviously, eventually, and also I then medically was told I couldn't have children. So my journey around having children was so difficult, you know, because you're then medically told you can't have children. So, yeah.
I mean, obviously, it was something, as you've explained, you really wanted. But again, it kind of points up what you were saying, Kelly. It can dominate. It can really take over your life from whatever perspective you're coming from. Whereas you've lifted that from yourself.
I think
which
in
is
my
a
30s
positive
it consumed me, to be honest. I think getting pregnant, having a miscarriage, I had several miscarriages in my 30s, and it just consumed my life and my health. Weight fluctuations, being in the public eye, having that kind of scrutinised when people don't know what's going on, all of that. And you're just like, I got to 40 and I thought, oh, I'm just not... Soon I won't have to I don't even have the choice soon. And it's it's the burden, you know, as a woman that you have. And it's just removing that has just been just so liberating. I can't even tell you. And it's really even, I know there's going to be backlash even saying it because it's like, well, you're a woman, why wouldn't you want to have children? What's wrong with you? But I'm a nurturer. I nurture myself, I nurture my husband, I nurture my garden. I've got a little dog. I love cooking. Like, every part of me is female and womanly, and I'm just got every part of me just wants to nurture things. But I don't want to have a child, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay. So if you're out there and you're in your 40s and you're having similar things, like, you're not alone. Like, there's lots of us that don't want to have children, and it's okay.
I think it's really refreshing to hear you say that. It really is.
I hate the fact that you feel like you know you're going to get backlash. I'm like, what time do we live in where you're still, like, made to feel like, as a woman, that's what you're meant to be doing, and if you're not, then there's something wrong with you. And I think it's so brave, and I actually love when I've got friends that have said they don't want children, and whenever they say it to other people and they say it out loud, I'm like, I love them for it, because I'm like, go you, you're living the life you want, you only have one, so go live it.
Absolutely.
Two kids.